And joining me right now, pediatrician Greg Savell with Myrtle Avenue Pediatrics. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Okay, this is a big issue according to Pediatrics, the official journal. We talked about some of the stats. Is this something new, or has this been something that's been going on with kids and energy drinks for a while?
Well, it is, to be honest with you, Al. Honestly, I've talked to 3 different patients since I opened my office at 6:30 this morning. Mothers were complaining that their kids were drinking energy drinks. The kids were saying it was no big deal. So it's been a giant problem in this community as well.
So what's the big deal about them? What's so bad? Is it the caffeine? Is it the sugar? What?
Well, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of the combination. First of all, some of these drinks have as much as 4 to 6 times the caffeine as a cup of coffee. And for years, kids have stopped by and had coffee before school. But in some ways, I consider these energy beverages kind of a free high. It's kind of a legal high, and a lot of these kids are using these drinks as they would some kind of an illegal substance. But the combination of the sugar on top of that is causing terrible cardiac excitability, sometimes leading to chest pain and other issues. And there have been several cases of children having seizures because of the developing cortex in the brain and the effect that the caffeine and the sugar combined is having on that part of the body.
Now, the way they get away with this apparently is because they're called nutritional supplements, and the FDA and nobody regulates those, right?
Well, it's a shame. And the interesting thing is, every time you look at one of these fantastic sporting events that kids like, the X Games, for example, which I do enjoy, every single sponsor seems to be an energy beverage manufacturer. So all of the heroes of the children of the day who aren't singing are heroes that are sponsored by energy beverages. So no matter where the kids go, it's right in their face.
And isn't it weird that we made the transition from Gatorade, which basically was invented to replace electrolytes, to all of a sudden this jump to energy drinks, and I'm afraid some parents are literally out of the loop.
Well, they're very much out of the loop because the children don't get the same high from Gatorade they do from these energy beverages. And so the kids have the parents buy the energy beverages, they wear the clothing, the hats, and it becomes a part of their culture. And we're trying to educate the parents about that issue and also educate the children to the terrible side effects that might go on.
Yeah, and the bottom line, according to this pediatrics report, is that the energy drinks have no therapeutic benefit at all.
100% zero therapeutic benefits, Al. You are correct.
Now, let's put a little of this on parents and maybe their older siblings, is because, you know, apparently mom and dads are inhaling some of these drinks as well, but especially college kids. And I know because I have 4 kids that went through college, and I had one son who just lived off of Monster beverages until he was getting headaches so severe he had to quit.
Well, you know, it's all about bad decision making, and that's what happens in college. The kids, you know, study at the last minute for tests. They stay up all night cramming, and how are they going to have enough energy to take that test at 8 a.m.? An energy beverage. But also what I'm worried about is kids at night. You would worry about kids drinking beer and other forms of alcohol and making bad decisions in high school. How about kids who are hyped up on energy beverages and sugar, who can't think straight and end up getting into a car accident, injuring or killing themselves or other innocent people?
Now, we're also hearing last week news about maybe that diet sodas aren't so good for us as well.
Well, we don't know what these substitute sugar products are going to do for humans in the long run. Is there going to be some kind of increased risk of certain kind of cancers that have been come on by the increased use of sugar substitutes?
Now, in terms of long-term effects, what if you know your kids are drinking these and maybe you haven't policed them as much as you should, do the ill effects linger for a long time, or once you get rid of this drink, is that a better sign?
Well, let me tell you what happens. You know, like a lot of parents have, we call caffeine addictions. You know, you drink caffeine. When you don't drink it, you get a terrible headache. Well, when you have energy beverages with 4 to 6 times the caffeine, that effect is 4 to 6 times worse. So when the kids are coming off of these beverages, they have terrible headaches, they're irritable, they have horrendous attention deficit issues, and so they reach for another energy beverage to make themselves feel better again. So then that becomes kind of a never-ending cycle of using the beverages and then coming off of them and using them again.
So when you sit down with your parents, and you know, sometimes you feel like with parents, because I was a soccer coach for many years, you just wanted to, you know, shake your thumb at them and go, you better do this. How do you talk? How do you deal with your patients and your parents?
Well, as you can tell, I'm very strong with what I say to people. I don't pussyfoot around it. You can't do that anymore. First of all, we don't have a long time to talk to the patients when they're here, and I want to get to the heart of the issue. The energy beverages are dangerous. They're no different than the kids who are on roxycodone, the kids who are drinking, you know, before the age of drinking and then doing awful things, and all the other bad decisions that kids make. You know, we have a lot of problems right now, Al. The omnipotence of adolescence has been made worse by a bad economy where parents have often lost hope at home. So the kids have less hope in the classroom, and they go to making bad decisions like drinking energy beverages because they really don't care what the consequences might be.
Doctor, straight advice, wonderful, good to hear it. Dr. Greg Savell, thank you so much for joining us, appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.